Practicing whispered ah has multiple benefits. For performers, it helps to relax the neck, throat, and tongue. And then for everyday people, it's wonderful in resetting the automatic breathing mechanism. Because your breathing starts to feel more at ease, it is also an excellent tool for those dealing with anxiety and stress. So let's start practicing. Whispered ah has 3 parts. The first part is a long, extended exhale. The second part is an inhale through the nose while you think of something funny or inappropriate. And the third part is an extended, silent ah out. So I will demonstrate it first, and then we'll practice it together. So I start by taking a breath in. So the first part is a long, gentle shh out, like this. Why don't you practice with me? Shh. I'm letting all of my air out. Shh. As I'm softening my body, I'm not tightening or squeezing my body. Shh. And I let all of the air come out, come out, come out until there'll be a long, gentle pause where no air is going out and no air is coming in. So it's not a holding of the breath, which often causes tension in the body. I'm just not bringing air back in yet. And you can do that for maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It doesn't need to be very long. And then the second part is the inhale through the nose. But I don't want you just to suck in air through the nose. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to allow the air to pop back in, which it will do naturally because you've gotten all of your air out. And I want you to add an extra really important step, which is to think of something funny or inappropriate. So I tend to start thinking of my funny, inappropriate thought as I exhale. I find it much more easy to think of something inappropriate. I can always think of something inappropriate than funny, which is it's kind of the same thing. The purpose of it is to bring a smile to your eyes. And what this does is it lifts your soft palate and it creates a much more open throat. So I think my funny, inappropriate thought as I breathe in through my nose. And then the third step is I do a silent ah out. And notice you couldn't really hear me. I was exhaling, but you couldn't hear the air. This is really important because if your silent ah sounds like this, that's a lot of neck and throat tension, and we don't want any of that. So you're going to exhale your air through a nice open mouth, open ah shape, and it's going to be almost silent. You'll hear a tiny bit, which is why we call it whispered ah. So it'll sound like this. And then you'll do a couple of normal breaths, and then you'll do the whispered ah practice again. So let's practice it all together. Long, gentle shh. Go ahead and soften your neck all the way down to your toes. Pregnant pause, 1, 2, 3. And allow the air to pop back in through your nose with your funny, inappropriate thought. Silent ah out. And then you'll take a couple of normal breaths. Good. So that was your first try. Let's try refining it now. The purpose of whispered ah is for this to be a gentle reset of the breath. And it really helps if you focus out on something. So why don't you look at an object that you're going to focus out on? And we're gonna practice the whispered ah again, and I'll lead you through it. So relaxing your body from head, neck, you're organizing your body forward so that you're giving weight to the front of your feet, to the balls of your feet, as you take a long breath in and long softening, softening, softening as you allow the air out. Funny, inappropriate thought in through your nose. And silent ah out to the object you see. And you'll take a couple of easy breaths. And you may already notice that you're getting more breath and it feels a little bit easier and your body is starting to feel a little bit lighter. And we'll practice it again. Long, gently, gently. Funny, inappropriate thought in. And gently whispered ah out. Excellent. Now, let's say you're dealing with a stressful situation and you're actually talking to somebody else. You can practice whispered ah at any time. You don't have to be alone in your room, although you can be practicing it in lying down, constructive rest position. You can practice it standing, walking, and monkey. But if you're in a stressful position dealing with another stressful person or a stressful situation, you can make all of this a secret. So you can just breathe your air out through your mouth or your nose so nobody knows you're doing it. Just make sure you fully breathe it out. You can breathe in through your nose, and then you can just breathe out again, and nobody knows the wiser. So go ahead and practice this in your everyday life. It will help to regulate your stress. It helps to regulate your anxiety. This is great for any kind of performance anxiety or just what we are dealing with in the world nowadays. Thank you so much. And if you like this video and would like to practice Alexander technique more in your everyday life, go ahead and check out my other ones.